So, while the operation was a success, it did take a big toll on especially my hardware. Hold on, let me show you all this. So, one of my laptops, I think I marked it down as laptop number 2 in my diagram. It's completely bricked. It won't boot up. I looked inside and what can I say, it was a total fucking mess. Its battery was totally fried and well, I'm gonna have to replace all these parts. And as you might have noticed, I also switched microphones because my old one, I don't fucking know how I did this, it just fucking stopped working. I swear. I literally can't get it to work anymore, for now. This will have to do. So yeah, I'm super glad that I used secondary parts for this because, yeah, it just turned out kind of a mess. As for what we got done, we got quite a big part of the void captured. We have a huge dataset of images and stuff, as well as pause data, so that we can look at how the void paths work, like in more detail. I'm looking to compile most of my findings in a big segment. That's gonna come up like ahead. Until then, I'm signing off for the holidays, I guess. Yeah, see you all. Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, I'm still kind of tired, but I'll push through to get that big thing out that I was talking about earlier. At least, like, I'm feeling a little better now. I promise there's more stuff to discover here. I just gotta dig a little bit deeper. While Project Sunveil was ongoing, I attempted to kind of get to the very top of the void to see what would happen. The journey started on test.bsp, which was that map that I made. It's one of the closest to the top, so I used that one. After hours of waiting, I noticed certain anomalies on my screen begin to pop up. Flashes, light spots, and visual distortions intensified until I think around 4 a.m. or so, when I finally hit what seemed to be the border between it and what I think is the outer world or whatever. This simply caused a crash similar to what was first observed with Padlet SDK back in October. Moreover, as a result of the test, a bright spot appeared in the region. I monitored it as well as I could, but since most of my attention was focused on Project Sunveil, I couldn't gather a lot of data. It appears that the spot faded in a couple of days. Aside from that, Blight Plane really appears to lack many notable features. Aside from housing maps, it is also home to diverse structures, many of which having been captured by Project Sunveil. After the project ended, I actually made some more private investigations where I just kinda looked around the place for a while. I'll show that footage off sometime soon. I'm currently reviewing it for any things that I missed, and that's taken a while since these are really long. Now, what's curious about these things is how they seemingly perfectly synchronize. I've never seen two of them collide or even pass through each other. What's more, due to the limited range of LiDAR, I have no idea if some of these are from the liminal plane or from somewhere outside it. It's so strange. As for what is on the island itself, getting close to the more stable ones, there's either nothing at all or strange structures present on them. So, here's the deal. There's this little island very close to Construct. You can pretty easily see it with LiDAR if you simply scan upward. See it? One of the first things that I wanted to do when Sunveil ended was to go land on one of these and see what's on them actually, like up close. Oh yeah, it's also worthy to note something here. I discovered that no clip really doesn't work in the void and is really messed up. Essentially, all that transfers over from the main source game is the movement, not the collisions. So there is basically no no-clip in here. I have to kind of aim to land on the island. Wait a second. What? There's light here? I might not need LiDAR for this. Hold on. Here's what I mean. Remember back in, I think it was update 14 or something like that, when we fell down to what looked like a sort of floor? Well, it was far from being one. In fact, what I believe to be kind of a megastructure or spire that stretched upward from the floor, that's what we landed on. I'll talk more about this later, but all that you need to know is that these weird structures are exceedingly rare, but also usually really big and massive to the point where they most definitely exceed Hammer's map limit. This is why I classified them as being non-map related. I began scanning the void floor as a kind of side project, though it quickly turned into one of the most fascinating parts of Sunvale. The void floor is, as almost expected by this point, weird. What really caught my eye was how inconsistent it was. No matter how much I tried to make sense of it, it just simply refused to let itself be understood. From what I've scanned, it seems to be broken up into chunks. Some are increasingly active and have weird pillars and just strange structures. Others are completely flat. Some are even fully missing. Alright, so I know I kind of bored y'all with text and info in chapter 2, but I thought it was necessary trying to establish some systems in here so that we can go over something really weird and I guess also really important. ZeroZeroZero, a place which so far has seemed very elusive, and as we'll see, it's turned out to be exactly that. So as you know, we used a lot of ETPVT during Project Sunvale, and a strange trend I noticed with void paths is that they physically can't cross 000, or at least a certain area around it. From now on, I will refer to this zone as the SOI, aka the Sphere of Influence. So yeah, so far, void paths have seemed very predictable, and you know, it kind of caught me off guard that they would totally avoid this zone in particular. To further gauge the size and scale of this zone, I decided to run an experiment. Starting from TTT rooftops, I would no-clip through the void into the SOI. I will share the results of that just now. As you can see, after passing this point, we enter the SOI. What also happens is that our speed, which had previously stayed consistent, began to decrease until we hit the event horizon. Now, it might seem like after the event horizon we fully stop, but that's actually false. We're actually moving. Just so slowly that in a full day, we can't even modify our x-coordinate by 1. So after noticing the whole speed or velocity change phenomenon when it comes to approaching 000, I thought that maybe the same thing would apply if we actually went outwards, if we went the opposing direction. As for the technical explanations I've come up with to justify the existence of this, the way I think it works is that essentially the server that's running the void has this kind of local time frame that only applies in some regions. And who knows, maybe as we go further and further out, due to small floating point errors that accumulate over time, we could gather some unimaginable amounts of speed. So the way I set this up is I traveled to one of those missing void chunks on the void floor, the ones that appeared completely empty when being scanned by LiDAR. And let's just say I took a leap of faith into the abyss.
Yeah?
The void has shifted. What the hell happened here? All the coordinates are fucked up. I'll get myself together, but it seems like everything shifted by around 800,000 or so units downward. I'm back and ready to continue this investigation with the more regular format that you all are used to, this being almost daily updates. The next lead I'm currently investigating is the online side of the mystery, specifically a part of the internet which I've actually dealt with before. So I found out that by pressing 10 on the keyboard in the info menu, it actually pulls up another tab, and this tab right here relates to something called BNW, which, yet again, I'm not totally certain of this, but from what I can gather, it's a very obscure 2000s Valve designed messaging app. An app that I just so happened to research back a few years on Discord with a couple of other people. All I have left from there is this screenshot of a live presentation I held on a VC channel, probably taken by accident. Anyway, what this whole thing reminded me of was, you know, on how, like, some Discord servers, there's these channels dedicated to running a bot of some sort that, like, essentially takes all the messages from in-game chat and puts them on Discord, or say keeps track of who and when they join the game if the Discord community is hosting a server. I believe that that's exactly what's happening right now, just kind of in reverse. Messages from B&W are taken from the application on someone's PC and shoved in here, in this tab. Even more proof for this, look at what happens if I press tilde on the keyboard. Now, this leads to some very interesting implications. The most important part being that there is a chance out there that all chat logs from the app could be recovered, if we dig deep enough. So, I've found these couple files that I could open and like look for some chat logs in here. You can see they're even dated 2010. But there is kind of a problem. They're literally just empty. There's nothing here. There is this single note though that was left behind, supposedly by a dev or some important person, I don't know. You can read that, I'll leave it on screen for a bit. But that means that I'm gonna have to do more digging. So this time I actually want to try a little test. I want to use Gmod instead of Half-Life 2 and see what happens if I boot up like the old construct. There's 2 versions of construct in here because you know, they're compiled on different dates. Oh, I mean, we've got something. Got something here. My fizz gun looks kind of weird. Looks a bit like low res. But I'm surprised it works somehow. I'm surprised the fizz gun works. Let's see, can I spawn anything? So if I go onto my Gmod window and just there it is. Wait, so I can build, right? Yeah, that works. That works pretty well, actually. Do NPCs work? Nope. No, they don't work at all. It's just an error. Apparently ragdolls do. Yeah, I should get to work investigating. Another thing that we could try though, I'm not really sure why I would do so. It would be going to, and I swear to God, if this is the fucking answer. So, as you see on this menu, the game tried kind of trolling me by having this 9 over here. I had to press 9 and it took me off the table. What if there's more? You might be wondering, how do I access these? I don't know, there's no 10 button on my keyboard, and if I press 1 and 0 it does nothing. I'm gonna just try smashing my keyboard for a couple of hours, and I might find something. I don't know, maybe there's a second page. That could be really good if I find a second page. But it would also be really fucking annoying and really fucking lame Yeah, this is way fucking harder than I thought it would be. I've been literally just spending hours inputting random commands in the console to fucking try and get any chat logs, any evidence. But nothing fucking works. And it would be really goddamn helpful if there would be some info command or something that would just let me, I don't know, see all the commands that are available in the void, because some work, some don't. Oh. What? I've never seen this menu. I think this is the Half-Life 2 menu. Pretty much. It's so weird that, why did I even press to get it on? It's weird that you don't have to press escape to get it on. That would be too simple. Also, what the fuck is Source Mountain? Hold up, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck? I think I enabled the dev commentary. Also, that's interesting. I think that might be a chat message or something. I don't know if it's from B&W or if it's really from in-game chat, but I think I need to go to some maps and do some hunting for chat messages like that. I really don't know what will really uncover. I'll still try though. I spent way too much time on this for nothing. I gotta finish this.
Next, I decided to go to some place that has become pretty familiar to us at this point, that being Free Space 03, the map which I'd say kind of started this all. A thing to note is that some of those messages were from like 2007 and earlier than 2010. It means that because of Drukaris's void fault tutorial, I think people got here a little bit faster than the other places. I'm curious what's in the big building. My game lags whenever I go over it. But I'll save that for last. You know, with this thing, everybody always kind of wants to see the whole technical aspect of it, but sometimes it makes me kind of feel things. I don't know if it's fear. Could be. But it also kind of feels a little warm. It really is like an actual open world, not confined by any skybox or map limit. It just makes me feel something that I think I haven't felt in ages. I feel like a little kid again, totally lost in this world that I can't even fully explain to myself. Huh. It started raining outside. You know, maybe I'm kind of going crazy and I'm just thinking to myself a lot, but a lot of things like these started happening, you know, after I started investigating this whole thing. I've already checked that one. Okay, so that's a place we could check next. Okay, so from now on, I'm mostly just going to be showing some highlights of what I found on multiple maps, just to speed things up a little because a lot of these messages aren't that important. Okay, so my next idea is obviously go to CS office because that's what the message mentioned.
Okay, so right off the bat, there were a couple of things that I could notice just by looking around. First, there seemed to be way fewer messages than usual, at least for such an iconic map. I kind of expected something more. And apparently they were using this place for some kind of minigame similar to hide and seek. Second, the actual offices appear to be partially lit with a light tool. This would also fit into the hide and seek part, because I presume the hiders would have to hide somewhere in the dark. Third, and probably weirdest of all, some areas seem to be hastily barricaded off. These barricades prevented the player from entering this section of the map. After I had circled around the offices for a while, I decided to try and remove one of them and stumbled across this. Lemon? Who's Lemon? After this, I continued my search through the offices until I found... well, I guess I'll just let it speak for itself. No, cause where the fuck do I have the right map? Think I do. But I don't see anything here. Oh wait, I know where it is. I know where it is. It's here, it's in the elevator, underground. It has to be.
Hold up, wait a minute. I have to set this up. Be right back. What the fuck was that? I probably should have read this before jumping straight into that. Also, why did my fizz gun turn purple?
Okay, so we're kind of at a dead end right now. And I really think we need to, I guess, change our plans a little bit. So, wait, you know what? I'll explain it the best way I can. I'm not even gonna do some fancy graphic. I'm just gonna draw it on fucking paint or something and show it to you. Okay, so we're here, and there's this like very abrupt cutoff. I don't know why. Like maybe the archive only spans up until this point, and it just like cut off. That might be it. Maybe not. But anyways, we're here, and we have like we went through this graveyard, through this like neighborhood area, this city kind of place. So to get back from here and maybe like find some new places, we should just like run really quickly, as quickly as you can, run back from here into this section of the neighborhood, like area, because when I went through here, I just immediately, I don't know why, I just went immediately for this graveyard zone. But I'm pretty much sure, because I saw them in the background, that there's more places to explore here, and maybe it leads somewhere else. Maybe it connects to somewhere else.
What? What the fuck? What's happening?
This is it. The last attempt I have. You know what? I'll go for it. Even if it doesn't turn out how I want to, or I'll try my best.
Hello, so I've been developing LiDAR for a while, as you know, and yesterday my friend came to me with a new version, and I thought, oh well, let's test it out and see like the new features onto it. And I think I might have just stumbled across one of the biggest discoveries ever, like, related to this. That is I think there's something out there. It's pretty hard to describe, but I pointed my camera towards what I believe to be empty space, and what do you know? One dot came back to me. Now, this completely just baffles me. Like, why wasn't this picked up in Sunvale? What the hell? And also, could there have been more of these? It's so strange. Like, as we've seen in internal terminology, time dilates as we go farther from 000. You know, like, there's no way I would have been able to go that far with regular fall speed. Anyways, so back to this. That damn dot right there has single-handedly convinced me that I need to do another investigation into the outer void regions. If it is truly what I think it is, not being a void island, then that means that there is a chance for structures as complex as those present in the inner void area to exist in the outer void area, which then opens up
a lot of implications, like how truly massive this place is. I know I've said it, but I say it again. The void is a digital wonder, and I'm truly shocked at the sheer size of it. I don't even know how it even functions, and I can't even begin to comprehend how something like this can feasibly work on my computer, let alone computers from like the 2000s, as we've seen in the thread earlier. I sometimes wonder if what I said to myself in eternal terminology was wrong. That being that the void is finite and that after a while it just ends. Because there is a chance that out there is something.
So today I've decided to start this whole initiative for exploring around the void. It's gonna be quite straightforward. I'll simply try to no-clip eastward until if anything shows up on LiDAR. It'll take quite a bit, but soon enough, as we leave the local void area, we'll notice the time dilation I was talking about earlier. It's gonna start to keep me Here you can see we passed by our first one, and keeping the naming scheme we made earlier, our void islands will be designated by an ID, which is going to have two letters, one 4-digit number, and the suffix out, if they're in the outer void area, that is. This object right here was automatically assigned AB0001 out, with it being the first one that LiDAR could surely identify as an island. Forward from this point, nothing much changed. Island sightings became more and more common, which indeed proved my theory, but none of them would even come close to the major discovery that would take place on the 26th. On 26th of January, LiDAR activity suddenly spiked. This actually kind of shocked me at first, since I really wasn't expecting it. But what it revealed was wonderful. LiDAR was displaying something very, very interesting. A huge belt of objects displayed very dense to each other. In fact, they were so densely packed that their density actually surpassed that of the local void area. This is when I decided to send another probe the exact opposite way of this one, to see what would be on the other side, and to confirm the existence of this belt wrapping around the void. On the 27th, the first probe, which I will be referring to as P1, came into contact with the belt. The megastructure seemed to resemble what looked like a wall of unknown shape that wrapped around the void, creating something, I guess, very similar to our solar system's Oort cloud. Wait a sec. Hold on, yeah. Yeah, okay. Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. Okay, either I'm going crazy or that... No, that definitely moved. This is definitely moving or something. Hey, look, I didn't press anything. Boom, scan it and look at this. Hello? So, this is gonna be an update on the probes. So, P1 actually just crashed today. A couple of hours earlier, I decided to kind of push my luck a little bit and set a time frame of Half-Life 2, which was the source game that I used for this, to a higher number. Basically, it would give me an additional no-clip speed boost, which would have allowed for greater coverage of the supercluster. So, as I said earlier, as you get farther from 000, time starts to move faster, which is why we need to slow it down through the timeframe command in the console. This basically allows us to explore these outer void regions in more detail, and I think it's what I'm going to try to do with P2. I'm going to try to find a method so that it doesn't crash. So anyway, I wanted to show you all what time dilation does to Half-Life 2. And here is the tab for P2 that I have right now. It's not quite reached the supercluster yet. We're getting close though. Now, this is just regular game runtime. It's the time frame 1. But just look at this. P1 is now on its way to the supercluster again. Until then, we'll have to rely on P2, which, if you might recall, is the probe I've sent the other way. It's actually just arrived at the eastern supercluster. Like, okay, I know I shouldn't be using east and west, but I don't care. I really do not care. I'm just fucking tired. No, I genuinely think that pulling an interloper here would be good. Like those probes Anomi sent in Interloper 7. That could actually help us. Hold up, let me just open up Gmod another. Okay, so this is the main probe that will be launching. I've also made another one. This one's automatic, while this one's supposed to be for carrying someone. And yeah, we'll test it on the source void, see how it goes. I'll use an alt account for this because, as I said earlier, it doesn't really work if you have two source games open. Paradise Decay doesn't work, but two source games can work. I've got some interesting discoveries to point out. First of all, we're at the supercluster. We're currently on the terminal for P2. So I've sent out one more probe, P4. It's fully automatic. But, and check this out, I've discovered if we press its camera's keybind, which on Gmod is like numpad 8, the game thinks that said camera is actually us. So using the pause commands, we can figure out where the probe is and where it's heading, or if it needs any course corrections. So, to recap, P1 and P2 are player pawns that use no-clip to arrive to supercluster. P3 is a piloted probe that's made from props, and P4 is fully autonomous. It has no player in it, and it also has a camera. The supercluster it's very well lit compared to the void, which kinda shocked me. Super strange, you can literally see like its light from afar if you simply use the in-game client instead of LiDAR. You can see it while I was approaching. It kind of looks like a galaxy or something. I also experimented with console commands because this far into the void well, of course, with P1 it crashed instantly, but the game seems really unstable. It just hates everything and lags a lot, and now with P2 we're actually a little bit farther into the superclusters. That kind of becomes more obvious. It's very laggy. With console commands, and that's like especially obvious, for example, if I want to turn on SV cheats. Like, look at this. So yeah, I'll continue exploring as much as I can, and we'll see how far on foot we get. Of course, if I can't continue on foot, I'll occasionally turn on no clip. But I don't know, past the point, I think I'm just gonna have to rely on walking if this gets worse. Well, you look a little bit different. I don't know, I just feel like this is the first time I've gotten to really breathe, talk to y'all for a little bit. Now this reminds me of, I think it was like in Gmod 9, that build minigame, where you had to either like build a bridge or build upwards, I think. Like honestly, I've just been playing those when I'm like bored and stuff. They're kind of broken, especially because, you know, I don't have CSS mounted on Gmod and stuff. But yeah, you can download Gmod 9 for free. It's so weird. I have like access to a select few amount of servers I can just hop on, and I don't know, it just, I can't really describe my thoughts on it, because it's almost like a liminal space, you know? Like, I think that there is something out there, especially given what we're seeing right now. But I really just don't like, you know, this interpretation of what's hiding behind the Source Engine. I know those people couldn't have possibly known about what I discovered here, but I just wish I could show them. So, I have it going from like all the way back there, and holy shit. Damn. I've been spending like a while on this. Yeah, let's see what's on that big one. It's probably gonna take a while. So then we're going for this one, I guess, because now one's a little bit too steep. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Like, I have God mode, but that still scared the shit out of me. Right, I kind of... Yeah, that was really tense. I almost fell down there multiple times. Anyway, so what do we have here? What? Okay, that's fucking trippy. How the fuck? Okay, now this might just be like a coincidence, but is that my fucking light post? Oh, and this is empty too. We've never seen these. Like, what the fuck? Holy shit. shit, it goes. I don't know, this feels kind of weird. This place is still just so beautiful though. What? Holy shit. Oh fuck. What is this doing here? You know what this kinda looks like? Hold up. Tell me I'm not, like, crazy. You see that too, right? So, I found one more of these, like, areas right here. It's super strange. It's almost like somebody put these here. And yeah, I'm really not sure how they, like, just appeared here. I have recorded, I'd say, 90% of my time here, and I just don't remember placing these at all. But something about them just still makes me kind of think. Like, you know, behind these errors, there could have been something that a person who lived years ago, who may not even be alive right now, placed here. And that's the only sign of them ever living that I have come across. Little progress has been made since last time. I've simply just lost track of most of the probe's positions. Some of them have just stopped responding. There's only one that is currently monitored, that is P2A, and it has continued to relay seemingly accurate pause commands back to me. Whatever happened to the other probes, my brain is simply telling me that something logical happened to them, that maybe they aren't rendered anymore, or I don't fucking know, maybe the void just, I don't know. Something, my intuition is telling me that I think I went too deep. Like, why would they just disappear? So, quick update. I recently found out that I think the void is collapsing way faster than I had previously anticipated. So recently, as I told you earlier, I had kind of slowed down. I don't know, I just didn't get as much time to work on this, and I only made in like the past couple of hours, I made my way from, hold on, let me just show you, from over there all the way to where I'm at right now. And thing is, you might be noticing I am literally pointing at nothing. Even if I like cut to LiDAR and like scan, there's nothing there, so we're absolutely sure it's just empty void in that direction. And what's even more concerning is that that is towards the outer void. I think whatever this destruction is, it's closing in towards the center. Because why else would it be going in from outward? It just doesn't make sense. I'm just speechless, and that means that we have to go. Like, there's no staying here. I'm like making emergency plans right now, and the only thing that I figured out might actually help us stay alive is P2A. That probe right there might be the key to, I don't know, maybe bringing back some of this, or at least keeping our player pawn alive in this region. because we don't know. I'm not sure if this whole expanding or destruction from the outwards is real. It's just kind of thing I've been observing in certain regions. So yeah, if that probe managed to survive whatever is out there, that this like annihilation, I think that maybe it has something, or something in it could bring light here again. Or as you said, at least let us keep exploring, because at this point all of our leads have been completely cut off. You look at P1, P1 is just fucking frozen because I tried to fucking use commands and I had to close it again, which means that I'm left just with this, with P2 and P2A. And if we don't like take advantage of these, or if we don't act now, this is the end. I don't know how to progress forward. If I don't catch that probe, I don't know what to do. I haven't really told you this, but I still think that those other probes are out there. I just don't know where. See, if I press my keybind for them on my keyboard, they still pop up from their POV. But nothing I do, not scanning LiDAR, not just anything I do, pops up any sort of activity. It's like they're in the true void. I think they got lost in there. I think the void consumed them. That's why I call this place a digital graveyard. It's where everything got sucked up after people left. Oh, shit. What the fuck? They're still here? Holy crap, there's no fucking way. Oh, the LiDAR file just updated. Holy shit, they're actually back. Where were they? On foot, there's little to no chance that I'll get to P2A in time. The distance is just too big to cover. So, that's why we'll bring it to us. It'll require several precise and timed burns. But I know it's possible. There's no room for failure here.
I'm really glad that I at least kept 2 player pawns in the void. Probes can be cool, but they're very, very unreliable. And if you actually pilot them, there's actually like a huge chance of them prop killing you, which I have seen while testing these probes. And that directly made me just decide against trying to fly these. Might have taken a longer time to go on foot, but I also would have missed like a lot of places if I hadn't gone on foot.
So, another thing to note about the void is how essentially it works, because I think I've been kind of figuring that out more lately. I don't really know how Valve did it, have no fucking clue on that, but essentially it's a bunch of, I guess, kind of like Minecraft chunks. Just a bunch of small sections. Not really that small, but you get the point. It's divided into sections that load individually on their own, like Source Engine maps, basically. But what still kind of baffles me is how they sometimes manage to load multiple maps around the player. I am basically totally sure that not all of the maps are loaded at all times, because it would just absolutely brick any computer that even tried to run it, but I have been given evidence that like some maps around the player, some chunks, are still loaded. Kind of like, yeah, again, Minecraft. Which is kind of weird when talking about the Source Engine, because if you think about it, in Source, there's no like multiple maps loaded at the same time. There's only like one. And in here, we can have at least a couple of surrounding chunks always loaded around us. So right now I'm just really trying to get their trajectories to line up. I'm trying to get a point of intersection somewhere, and it's really hard. But I'll keep trying, I guess.
I'm not really that good with math. I really am not, so that's why I keep pulling up help here. I have like 15 tabs open. I had gone so invested in traversing the void, of reaching this salvation point where P2 and P2A would meet. I was so invested that I had forgotten about all the destruction going on around me. Paths would disappear into thin air sometimes. Going backwards meant coming into a place that looked entirely different. I was almost disoriented. Most of all, the world around me was crumbling. And as I made my way out further and further, the signs were becoming more and more obvious. The lights got dimmer and dimmer. The darkness was surrounding almost everything. I was walking directly towards the outer decay of the void. In the regions I was passing through, they were the very edge of the supercluster, or I guess what remained of it. I can't help but wonder how big this place was before I was here. How many other places could I have visited if I was just a little quicker? Maybe a couple of days, weeks. But a thing I've learned is that you don't really miss something until it's gone. Okay, this is it. No, this is the place. I don't know if it's loaded in yet, but it's close. It's very close. Okay, I actually need to focus. Hold up. Shit. Why am I panicking? Can't fucking see anything. Where the fuck is it? I don't see it. Alright, this is it. Come on, fuck's sake, come on! Okay, come on, I can still make it, there's still time, it's okay. Fuck! Oh, fuck.
Wait, hold up. Why? I'm pressing the toggle button. Why isn't it stopping? The drone is just going. It isn't stopping. It isn't stopping. It isn't stopping. Why? What the fuck happened? Just calm down, calm down. Fuck this ladder. Fuck this ladder. Okay, I'm doing it. Shit! Fuck! Oh. No. You know, it's been a while since I've actually sat down and played the game. I remember I built this quite a while ago. I was building that door, this one right here, when the first crashes began showing up again. I would have like NPC battles go on through here. I would put like a bunch of rebels in this side, in this camp. And on the outside I put like a lot of combine that would try to storm inside. It's a pretty good build actually. And yeah, this is where I also started work on the probes. I think they were on the other side over there. Man, I played quite a bit on this world. Didn't even realize these were my mortars. I really don't know what like caused that drone to fail like that. Like, okay, so I think I've figured the mystery out as to why this thruster kept going and didn't stop when I just pressed my keybind. And it all starts with this canister right here. It was just supposed to carry some extra medkits, but problem is, I didn't quite weld it right. I welded it this way. See, these medkits were welded to it, and the medkits were welded to this door. So basically, this right here is not really welded to this chassis, to this blast door. So I think I know what happened. Well, you see, if you check the recordings that we have, essentially, when you look at them, you don't see this canister right here, how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to see it. When I was doing the burns, and I recorded like the various thruster burns to correct our direction, you didn't see this canister anywhere in those recordings. And neither did you see these medkits. You get the point. So, I think I got kind of fucked up, you know, something like this happened. And the medkits kind of freaked out, maybe went along the place. You actually can't see where one of the medkits ended up. One of them ended up right here, just behind this cabinet. You can see it in the footage, it's right there, a little bit less exposed than this. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. It ended up right there. And since this was welded to it, it didn't like fly off the ship. It just stayed somewhere. It stayed somewhere down here, which is why we couldn't see it on the camera. You know, it was blocked out by this locker and it was down below this blast door. Since it was also welded to another, and when you do that, you see that kind of like freaks out a little bit. And now what does that have to do with this damn thruster? Well, if I go on my Q tab right here, do you see what setting I have enabled? Activate when damaged. Now, you really shouldn't have that enabled, because if this thruster right here takes like any fucking damage, it fucking goes crazy.
So that just fucking happened. That was a fucking bullshit death. I don't even know what was like going through my head. I don't know. Okay, it's stupid. And honestly, I'm kind of lost. I don't know what to do from now. I still have the probes. That's a good thing, because they're still actually sending out LiDAR data that I can use. I don't know. I don't have any player pawns, I think. Can't really explore the void. I mean the supercluster. I can't really explore it right anymore. You know, I said it earlier, but I think I'll say it again. Probes are really cool. They can get you a lot of info, but you don't really get to see all of it with your own eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost. I don't even know why I'm still recording. I've run out of ideas to say. I'll think of something and I'll talk to you back. Okay, so I have managed to come up with a plan. It was mostly by accident, but I switched to the tab of one of the probes, and I kind of remembered that I actually had some piloted probes that had player pawns in them. I just need to check whether the players survived or not, because some might have died along the way, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's probably my best shot. If not, I'll have to wait a couple of days. And who knows, man? In a couple of days, this place could be fucking gone. Like, it could just be wiped off the face of the earth. At the speed at which it was decaying in some regions, it was horrible. Okay, so I found this probe right here, and I think it's suitable for what I need. Like, it's got the player pawn in it. If I switch over to my other computer, you can see it. You can see I'm alive. I'm doing okay. I have taken some damage. Not totally sure why. But I have enough medkits in here to patch myself up nicely. So, yeah. I think we'll be using this one.
Okay, trying to aim it like right to that island. Wait, no. We should heal up a little bit before that. Yeah. Yeah, we can go now.
I still don't know what all of these structures mean. Why some places just randomly have props in them. Why 000 seems to be locked up. And no, it's not fucking floating point. Yes, acceleration, that clearly is floating point when you go outwards, but what the hell could they be keeping it at 000? It's supposed to be one of the most stable parts of a game because you're closer to spawn. It is not fucking floating point. It's something else that's stopping you from reaching there. I think it's Source Mountain. Source Mountain is in the middle of this. I don't know what it is. I have no fucking clue what Source Mountain is. I just see it fucking everywhere. We literally just saw it in D.O.E.'s archive. It was there. I almost got there. If I had been a little bit quicker, who knows what the hell I would find up there. In his message, D.O.E. said he archived spawn region. Spawn region is usually somewhere at 000. They're keeping that place fucking hidden for some reason. D.O.E.'s archive like cut off at some point. Maybe it was incomplete for a reason. Call me crazy, but I think this might just work. Let's see. What do we have here? Oh, you hear that? It lets me interact with it. It's making the interact sound. No fucking way. What? How? How is that? How is that possible? Oh my god. What? No fucking way. No. Is this a new one? I was just about to give up too. I was about to leave. What? How? Hold up. Let me decode this. Those are coordinates. Oh my god. Probes have mostly started to go out again. It started sequentially almost from the farthest one, which in our case was P2A. It was the first one to go out, and in around an hour and 37 minutes later, the decay had started to catch up with most of the other ones. Following P2A, P3, and P4 went out one after another. Somewhere around, I believe, 1 hour and 42 minutes, and respectively 1 hour and 48 minutes. Skipping forward towards the 2-hour mark, at 1 hour and 58 minutes, P1A goes out. So by the 2-hour mark, only 2 probes are still transmitting data, P3A and P4A. Eventually, somewhere at the 2-hour and 10-minute mark, P3A goes dark, and P4A is left as the last standing probe. It survives for around 7 more minutes before going completely quiet. Is that construct? Wait. If it's really doing what I think it is, then... Oh my god. I never checked behind those barricades. Dear Explorer, Future Traveler, Investigator, whatever you might be, I don't know if you will find this note. I don't know if anybody out there will even get the chance to read it. The truth is, this world is dying, and there's nothing me or you can do about it. Unlike the others, I got to say my proper goodbyes. I got to sit around on these empty servers waiting for someone to join. But I never once realized that they're just that. They're data storage for the Source Engine, and nothing more. Data that got worked by it until it started kind of resembling structures. It was always a flawed artist, a relic of the early 2000s that I clung on to try and convince myself that I'm fine. And that, maybe, if I just keep waiting, one day, I'll see him again. Or all the others, as a matter of fact. With him, I didn't get to say my goodbyes, which is what made it hurt so much more. I tried to quit, believe me, I really did, but it was like the game itself didn't want to close. I kept coming back. For 10 years of my life, I kept trying to visit the same places, to hope that maybe the same people would be there to greet me. But they never were. They've long moved on. I'm not sure of what makes this place so special for me. I'm not sure of what managed to keep me here for so long. But I have finally realized what I needed to do from the start. There is nothing more left for you to find here besides a dying world and a dying engine, one that can't support it anymore. So please, whatever your reasons may be for being here, whether you found this by accident or were looking for it, take one thing away from it. Don't keep reheating your food. It will never taste the same. Just make new food.
Fuck. What did I press? Why is there music? Oh! Oh no way, I forgot. I remember this. No, Justfy put this in. He put this in like a while ago. Oh my god, I remember this. We like reacted to it on Discord.
live. He just he updated the program, and man, I'm so surprised it's still here. I guess it never really got removed by anyone.